Nikola Tesla claimed he could transmit power wirelessly through the Earth itself. No wires, no fuel, just energy flowing freely through the ground to anyone who wanted it. He built a 187-foot tower in 1901 to prove it. So why don't we have wireless power grids today? Was Tesla actually onto something real, or was it pseudoscience? What did free energy even mean to him? Why did JP Morgan pull his funding? Was it buried by conspiracy, or did the physics just not work? Everyone says big oil suppressed Tesla's free energy, but that's not an explanation, it's a villain story. The real answer is stranger than conspiracy. It has to do with what free actually means and what Earth is as an electrical system. The reason has nothing to do with suppression. It's about what conductors actually do, and what Tesla misunderstood about his own tower. Let me be clear about what Tesla actually proposed. He wasn't talking about perpetual motion or extracting energy from nothing. Free meant free distribution, wireless transmission. His idea, Earth itself is a conductor. Use it like a wire. Send electrical oscillations through the ground at a resonant frequency, and anyone with receiving equipment could tap into it anywhere on the planet. Like radio, but for power instead of information. Sounds impossible, right? Where's the energy going? How does it get there without wires? First question, can you actually send electricity through the Earth? Yes. Earth does conduct electricity. That's what ground wires do. They equalize charge by conducting it into the Earth. Lightning reaches the ground because Earth conducts. But here's the thing, Earth is a terrible conductor. Resistance is enormous over long distances. Power dissipated equals current squared times resistance, I2R. Most of your energy converts to heat in the ground before it goes anywhere useful. Efficiency is catastrophically low for power transmission, so Tesla knew this. He wasn't stupid. What was he actually thinking? Tesla's insight was elegant. Don't push current through resistance. Instead, make Earth ring like a bell at its natural frequency. Earth has a resonant frequency, what we now call the Schumann resonance, around 7.8 Hz. His idea, drive the system at resonance and build up standing waves. Small input creates large oscillations if you hit the right frequency. Like pushing a swing, timing matters more than force. Push at the wrong moment, nothing happens. Push at the right moment, each little push adds up. He thought, charge the entire Earth ionosphere cavity as one giant resonator. Receivers anywhere could extract energy from these standing waves. It seems elegant, use resonance to overcome the resistance problem. But this is where Tesla's beautiful idea meets an ugly fact about energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. If receivers extract energy from standing waves, the waves diminish. More receivers means more extraction, means faster decay. Like many people, trying to push swings in a playground, you need more input to maintain the oscillation for everyone. Tesla's tower would need to supply all the power being extracted, plus losses, and losses are enormous. Resistance heating in the ground, radiation into space, inefficiencies everywhere. So you'd need a massive power station feeding the tower continuously. Not free distribution, just inefficient distribution, actually worse than wires. Transmission losses through Earth are higher than copper cables. Wires have low resistance, Earth has high resistance. Modern power lines lose about 6% over distance. Tesla's system would lose 90% or more. Well, not exactly 90, depends on distance and frequency, but you see the problem. Tesla knew about conservation of energy, so why did he think this would work? Here's where it gets interesting. Tesla thought the Earth ionosphere system might have stored charge, like a giant capacitor already charged by natural processes. His idea. He wasn't supplying all the energy, just triggering its release, tapping into an existing potential difference. Similar to how radio receivers don't create radio waves, they just detect them. But this is where his intuition led him wrong. There is charge separation. The ionosphere is positive, Earth is negative, about 300,000 volts of potential difference between them, but it's maintained by thunderstorms constantly, about 2,000 storms happening at any moment globally. That's the power source maintaining the charge. If you extract energy, storms must replace it. You're not getting free energy, you're borrowing from the weather system, and the total available power is limited by storm activity, about 1 to 4 gigawatts globally from all thunderstorms combined. Sounds like a lot, but humanity currently uses about 20,000 calendar gigawatts, not nearly enough. Plus, extracting that energy would affect weather patterns. You're removing charge that drives atmospheric circulation. Tesla didn't know this. The modern understanding of the global electric circuit came much later, in the 1920s through 1960s, so Tesla built his tower in 1901 in Shoreham, New York. Wardenclyffe. 187 feet tall, copper dome on top, grounding system with iron pipes driven 300 feet into the earth. He fired it up in 1903. Witnesses reported the tower glowed, sparks flew, thunder sounds. Tesla claimed he lit light bulbs miles away wirelessly. But here's what nobody verified: the power budget. How much power going into the tower versus how much extracted remotely. His financial backers, J.P. Morgan especially, wanted numbers. Tesla couldn't provide them, or wouldn't. Morgan pulled funding in 1906. Project abandoned. Tower demolished in 1917. Not conspiracy. Morgan wanted return on investment. Tesla couldn't show one. If the system worked efficiently, Morgan would have made a fortune. Capitalists love profitable technology. Wireless power would be worth billions. So what actually happened when Tesla fired up the tower? It worked as a radio transmitter. Tesla was creating enormous electromagnetic radiation, high voltage, high frequency oscillations, energy radiating outward as radio waves, some energy coupled into the ground as ground currents, some radiated into the atmosphere as electromagnetic waves, very little usable power at distance, most energy wasted as heat and radiation. Essentially an inefficient radio transmitter, not a power distributor. Modern physics confirms this. Far-field wireless power transmission is inefficient because of the inverse square law. Power drops as 1 over distance squared. At miles away, power density is negligible. Near-field inductive coupling works for inches or feet, not miles. That's why wireless phone chargers exist, but not wireless cities. Tesla was transmitting energy wirelessly. That part was real. Just not efficiently enough to matter. Compare it to wired transmission. Copper cables, low resistance, energy loss proportional. To I2R over distance. Modern transmission uses high voltage to reduce current for the same power, with transformers at both ends. Efficiency is about 94% over hundreds of miles. Wireless transmission? Energy spreads in all directions. Only a tiny fraction is intercepted by any receiver. Even with perfect resonance, geometry works against you. Wires guide energy, wireless disperses it. Physics favors wires, not conspiracy. The Edison versus Tesla war over AC and DC was real competition. AC won because it was better, not because of conspiracy. Same with wired versus wireless power. Wires won because they're simply more efficient. Tesla's legacy: he was right about AC, wrong about wireless power distribution. One brilliant insight, one beautiful mistake. We do have wireless power today, but short range. Inductive charging for phone pads works at millimeters to centimeters. Resonant inductive for electric toothbrushes and some electric vehicles works at centimeters to inches. Microwave transmission, proposed for space solar satellites, could work over kilometers but requires enormous transmitter and receiver arrays. All follow the same rule. Efficiency drops with distance. Near-field inductive coupling works for close proximity. Far-field radiative transmission requires line of sight and massive antennas. Nobody has solved the fundamental problem: energy disperses. Some companies revisit Tesla's ideas periodically. Physics hasn't changed. Still inefficient. It's better to generate power locally, with solar panels on every roof, than transmit wirelessly globally. Which brings us to what free energy actually means. To Tesla, free meant free distribution, not free generation. Power still comes from somewhere: coal plant, hydroelectric dam, whatever. Just delivered wirelessly instead of through wires. His vision was to democratize electricity access. No need for power lines running to every house. Just tune your receiver. Extract what you need. Beautiful idea, wrong implementation. The modern version of this idea is solar panels. Not wireless, but distributed generation. Every roof becomes a power source. That's actually closer to Tesla's vision than his own tower was. Decentralized, accessible, no massive grid infrastructure needed. The irony is we're achieving his goal: democratized power through better generation, not wireless transmission. Free energy scams today usually violate conservation. Perpetual motion machines, zero-point energy extraction, those sorts of things. Tesla wasn't proposing that. He was proposing free distribution. Big difference. He believed in conservation of energy. He just thought he'd found a clever way around transmission costs. He hadn't. Geometry and resistance won. The physics that killed Tesla's tower is the same physics that makes your phone charger work. Near-field induction is efficient at close range. Far-field transmission wastes energy in all directions. Distance matters. Always. Has, always will. Tesla wasn't suppressed. He was wrong about the efficiency. Not conspiracy, just physics. Earth does conduct. Earth does have resonance. But neither overcomes the fundamental problem. Energy disperses when transmitted wirelessly over distance. Wires won because they guide energy efficiently from source to destination. That's it. But here's something. What about that Schumann resonance Tesla talked about? Does it affect anything biological? Some people claim it does. That's a different question entirely. Nature reveals her secrets, but she doesn't give free lunches. Tesla found one of her secrets, just wasn't the one he thought it was.